Welcome to Station WBMCT, Black Middle Class Talk, where we talk, get down, throw the communication around, message, receiver, feedback. Let's get it on. Your host, CC, and your co-host, EB. Let's talk, communicate. Welcome aboard Station WBMCT. I'm your host, CC. This is my co-host, EB. We're just here to have some discussions, chop it up, I guess you could say, and talk about the things that are going on today, and especially this is Black Middle Class Talk. So we kind of keep the subject related to black people, but black people issues are American issues. So, but you know how this is America, so. Just welcome aboard to anybody that may be listening or tuning in or watch this later. Thank you for your support. Hit the subscribe button. Today's subject to be justice or just for us, and as we always do our format, we always start out with domestic and international news, and we go to the subject, and then we go to the topic board, which kind of ties in with our subject. In fact, the subject today is going to tie in with a lot of the talking points that we have on our subject board. And we are at the end there, we always wrap it up with entertainment. Hopefully we'll end on a good note on that. So, but starting out, as we always do, we start with domestic and international news. It's all Trump all day, every day. I'm getting sick of it, brother. I'm going to kick it over to my brother. He always brings us the domestic news, and I try to fill in with the international news. But they're both, today, we can't tell the difference between international news and domestic news. There's so much treason and corruption going on. I'm kind of speechless. So much illegal things happening today, and people think it's normal, and Supreme Court is all in. But, brother, what's on the domestic news, or just news in general?
Well, the as you stated, is that, as always, we've been talking about this since we pretty much had the show, is that the way that our government is established and how it is lined up now is that most of the stuff that you have in relationship to international, it turns out domestic. The latest news on the war in Iran. Iran shot down a U.S. helicopter that was patrolling the Strait of Hormuz. And soon after that, the U.S. retaliated, saying is that they had to make a stance. In other words, to let it be known that they're not going to stand for actions such as that.
Actions such as that, meaning we start a war with them and they fight back, and
exactly,
they're fighting back too hard.
Exactly.
I just wanted to make sure I had it straight.
Right, and because the fact is, and then we all go back and we have this memory block, and we start saying, now, they shot down a helicopter. Now, I remember about 2 months ago, HESEC got on national TV. The Navy is underwater. They don't have no air defenses, and they army and all their leadership is in disarray.
Decapitated.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to figure out how are they able to still do things such as shoot down an American helicopter. But then again, I digress.
Well, no, don't digress. What you call that in a nutshell? I tell you what I
it's
call
a lie.
Well, just say it up front, because that word itself is getting lost.
Yes.
But go ahead.
Yes, because you know, and they keep trying to talk about it, and then Israel shot into Lebanon because Hezbollah is there, and Trump is trying to work this deal, and then I guess he's having a breakup with his bromance that he got with Netanyahu because he's telling Netanyahu not to shoot anymore. He said, okay, Iran, you shot yours, and then Israel, you done yours, but I'm telling both stop because, like you stated last week, is that Trump is in a pickle, and he needs to do whatever he can to get out of this. And every chance that he gets to try to get out of it, Israel is doing things that keep him going. Because as long as Israel shoot into Lebanon, Iran is going to shoot at any ally bases that has U.S. troops there.
Now, you're saying it's Trump in control? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that. He said, I called the shots.
Trump said that.
He said that.
Do you believe him?
Hell no.
No, he's not calling the shot.
He called no shot. Netanyahu is calling the shot.
Yeah, in fact, Trump is trapped.
Right.
He wanted to go around the world. Cuba was going to be next, but he's gotten himself caught.
Right.
You can't move on. You can't decimate the world. You decimated the world,
yes.
I think, anyway. But he's trapped. And, he can't. How do you get out of this?
Right, exactly.
Right.
And because Netanyahu is, like they said, is that he's been trying to get all these other presidents to do the exact same thing that he convinced Donald Trump to do. But see, Donald Trump failed into it thinking that it was going to be just like Venezuela.
Right.
His success in Venezuela, and I don't even consider it success.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because like he said, what did you do? You went to a person that don't have no nuclear weapons, barely have a military. So what would they do against that? But then again, he thought the same thing that was going to be the case with Iran. But then again, now he's finding out different. And now Iran is in a position that they feel that they don't even have to talk. What are we going to talk for?
Right, they're winning.
Exactly, winning.
Yeah. Right, that gets idiot. And it's sad, man. The people that's dying, the military people who are unnecessarily away from their families, the stress that's on those families, because this nut job could do something evil, more evil than he's done the previous day. He has no bottom. He's going to have to cut. To me, the solution in Iran is just going to have to cut tail and run. I'm sorry, but it ain't
that
working.
is a solution, but
right. But he's going to do it in a smooth way. Hey, we decimated them. There's nothing to see here. Let's go and cut tail and go on back home. Go to Cuba. Let's get on over to Cuba. And it's just a warped type thinking. It's an evil, depraved. That's the word I'm looking for. A depraved type situation. And Trump can do this if the formerly Republican Party, which was a millimeter decent, now they just lost that millimeter of decency, to me, officially. And so the Republican Party enabling him to do this craziness around the world, that's the sickening part. One person can be evil, when you got, hundreds of people being Congress.
Right.
There's, what's the total in Congress? 535? I'm at 435. 435.
And then 100 on the Senate.
Yeah, that's why I got to 530. Right. That's Congress. Okay, but just the fact that you got a whole party that just sits by, watch this man destroy the world.
Right, exactly.
And you swore an oath to defend the Constitution. That's your credibility. You swear before God, if you believe in God, which I know they don't. But even if you don't believe in God, you should believe in integrity. And if you swear to do something and you don't do it, that makes you a liar. When you swear before God. And when I say that, I'm talking about you swear an oath to the Constitution. Any kind of public position you obtain, you're going to have to make that oath. And it's to uphold the Constitution. I don't remember the words. You were in the military. I mean, I was too, but it's been so long. But what I know, what it means is that's what is in writing is what you keep. Right. So as John Lewis would say, be true to what you put on paper. And America has failed that. This is a 250-year anniversary. And
what
now,
do they have to celebrate?
Go ahead.
I said, what do they have to celebrate? Yeah.
What do we have to celebrate?
Exactly. Yeah.
In fact, as far as black people are concerned, there's nothing new to us. This is nothing new to us.
That's true.
In fact, I'm of the camp where maybe we've been whining about the system for 400 years, and maybe this is the time it gets torn down, where it's already torn down. Trump is tearing everything down he can think of, but he ain't doing it on our behalf. And so that kind of leads into our subject anyway, to go justice or just for us. But I might have cut you off there on domestic news.
Oh, no. Hey, like you say, it's a flip,
Okay.
flip of a coin, and the conversation can go in all different directions.
Exactly. And so, in fact, I'm kind of light on international news, because usually I look up international news and do my research about just looking at the news, CNN, your MSNBCs, and what are the other ones? Those are two big ones, is CBS or whatnot. And I can see is Trump all day, every day. If you go to any one of those websites, that's all you're going to see is his face. And that's by design. And that's why that's what a dictator does, or they call it oligarchy now.
Right.
But that's his strategy. Always put your face in people's face all the time. Right. He was at the Knicks game. Now that was a stupid move to me. That he could have seen that coming. Yeah. The booing. Yeah, I mean, I almost bought me a ticket just to go there and get my booing. Screw the game. I'll pay the $1,000, right. But and so his face is on everything. And I bring up the news because the media has been captured. All day, every day is Trump. And that's a problem, because I couldn't find anything on Gaza, the Palestinians, the genocide, not a peak. Ukraine seems to be kicking butt over there.
Right, and they say so now it ain't gonna be announced, because that don't look good to Putin if it's put on the American news, tell them how Ukraine is kicking that butt.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. But like you said, at one time he was the referee of that.
Who was the referee?
He pretended to be Trump.
Okay.
He pretended to be the referee of it.
Okay.
But now he ain't got. He don't. I don't remember the last time I even heard him even mention Ukraine or Russia.
Right. Well, because Ukraine has got the upper hand. They got the cards now.
Exactly. He got the cards. But I'm saying, but he don't.
Zelensky has the cards.
Exactly.
And that's why you don't see it on the media. But they're doing a great. Well, it seems to me that Ukraine has this long range tap, what they call the tap thing. They're coming. Here it is. Putin had this great conference all set up in his hometown of St. Petersburg. Right. Had it, even a couple of Americans went there. Your girl Candace Owen was going. Yeah, she probably went. Then some executive from the government. It was a mini show of support for. I'm sure Trump sent him there for this big event that Putin has every year. It's like a business event of world. And what does Ukraine do but blow up a ship in St. Petersburg, a warship? Blew it up. People coming into the city can see the smoke billowing, and all over, from something's burning over there. And that's that letter that Putin writes. Zelensky writes to Putin on that face-to-face meeting. What Zelensky was basically saying, the tide has turned. Yep. We sent you a warning shot. Yep. You want some more of this, or can we sit down and talk like men?
That's good.
That was what happened. I know as black people, maybe we don't follow this stuff as much as I think we should, because it does affect you. You're paying for this. And so black people, we need to engage.
What we're paying for.
For what you're getting robbed. Yep. The little bit that we had is being taken. As far as the economics of the situation, and now I can get to start rambling on, where we are and how we've been robbed for 400 years, but that'll be a conversation in itself, and I know we're up against the clock here. But I just want to say that in summary of it, Supreme Court is all in on this corruption. They're part of the corruption. The evangelicals are all in on this corruption, and they're clueless because they don't understand when you buy. The First Amendment was not only made to protect the church from the state, it was also made to protect the state from the church. And these two have combined. Now, when they combine and you get in and you start taking this government money, as much as you don't like certain equities and equal opportunities, when you take government money, you got to accept government standards. Yep. And if the evangelicals have this vendetta against the gays. I hate to say it like that. If I sound bigotry, that I'm sorry. That maybe I have a little bit in me. But if you don't like gay people and you don't like gay marriage, you might not want to combine and put your forces with the government, because when you take this money from the government, you cannot discriminate.
Right, and that's the thing. And it's funny that you said that about the church and the state. I know we're short on time, but that's a good point you made, because I remember a couple of years ago is that they was trying to take that. It's a tax thing. They were trying to take it from these black churches, because they were saying is that if you don't pay taxes, that you should be a non-partisan. In other words, you can't be in the black church. You can't get there and talk about things that's going on with the president, because then again, you're going against what it is that what you project as an organization, for the lack of a better way of saying it, is that you cannot be tax exempt if you produce that type of information about government or otherwise. So it's just funny you said that about church and state.
Yeah, and so when we go into the next section, we'll come up about this. America's getting in my opinion, on-the-job training, OJT, on how their government works. So we're going to take a quick break. Going to come right back.
I'll come back now.
Welcome back. Is it justice or is it just for us? Now, that's a cliche that we've been using in the black community forever. And what do you think it is? Do you think it's justice or just for us, our justice system?
Well, it's supposed to be justice. But you know how we take a word and we'll break it down, that we'll make it stand out as far as like what it actually stands for. But I was saying it's just us. As opposed to justice, and that's over my lifetime, things that I have seen, that I have my course map, over the years that we've had periods where it seemed like that it was actually balancing out.
Yes.
But, case in point, we just had a case this week where this 19-year-old black
Before you go there, before you get into the subject, I'm going to bring up this the definition and let's just see. Because the inequality in the criminal justice system, what I was thinking of, refers to the disproportionate impact of policing, because we're talking about the justice system. Prosecution and incarceration on the marginalized communities, particularly based on race and socioeconomic status. The system disparity affects outcomes on every stage of the justice process, from initial police contact and bail hearings to sentencing and long-term socioeconomic consequences. So that's, you can come back now. And that's the definition. It's a common thing we all know about as far as the double standard in the criminal justice system. That's why I really wanted to just start that out with that. So the data is there to show the injustice or the double standard. And like I say, all my lifetime, especially the war on drugs, which personally affected my family. And I think 1 out of, let's say, 3 families, black families that is, have been affected by the war on drugs, which the war on, which involved a lot of cannabis, charges, but crack came in. I get that, but the cannabis thing, which they're trying to, what they roll back and they started giving these expungements on people's records. I'm like, golly, how do you undo that? I mean, you destroy somebody's life over a dime bag, nickel bag, or whatever, a joint, smoking a joint. You done destroyed their life, and you think you can just wipe the slate clean. That sounds familiar. Wipe the slate clean. Black folk, what y'all complaining about? It was only 400 years. Golly, we can get this thing straight. We don't straighten up your record.
And that wasn't us.
Huh?
That's what they say. That wasn't us.
Yeah, that wasn't us. That was our
history. Yeah,
that was. You can't blame me for somebody else.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the United States of America. That's not you. That's all of the country. That's my tax dollars too. That's those pro ball players you go and worship and watch play ball on the football and basketball court. That's their money too. That's their taxpayers' dollars. They got millions of the taxes they pay. So I'm just saying this double standard in the law, which is documented through data, is what I call just for us. Now, then in that definition, as you saw, it's the social economic status. Now, that's poor white folks. They get caught up in it too, but the numbers are not in brown, of course, brown people. But the numbers for that group is, I think our numbers compared to our population is much more significant and what we've been through in the United States. So I'm of the camp just for us.
Right, and it's ironic is that this is the topic that we chose, and then all the things that have transpired just this last week.
Okay, go ahead.
One case is in McKinney, Denton area, on the outskirts of Dallas, and they had this track star, black guy, and this white track star. They met and they was at a game. It was at a track meet, and they had like a tarp up, and then the black kid went and got up on the tarp, and they told him that you need to get him up under our tarp, our tent. And he said,
"Oh, he was on another team or the same team?"
No, he was on another team.
Another
team. It was a different team, and so that team.
Why was he under their tarp if he was?
I guess it was in the stadium, and I guess I don't even know whether because it was hot or rain or whatever.
Okay.
But he took shelter up under there.
Okay.
And they told him that no, you can't be up under there.
Okay.
Told him to leave.
Okay.
And I guess he's saying no, he wasn't. And they got into a confrontation. Now I've heard different stories, so I guess until the final story comes that he the guy was threatening him, and I guess it's been said that he's had issue with this guy before. But anyway, I heard he showed the guy the knife and told him to leave him alone. And I heard that the guy came over and pushed him, and when he pushed him, the guy stabbed him, dropped the knife, and ran.
Okay.
So
the black guy.
The black guy.
Okay.
And so of course all been said. So he then went to trial, and now he's a 19-year-old. There was a 17-year-old, and the 17-year-old was a white kid, and the 19-year-old was a black kid.
And that's an adult and a minor.
See, that's the
adult and
thing.
a minor. So
I'm
just stating
yeah,
some facts.
You're right. But I'm saying to go back to that is that same number we have seen that they have taken that same case and have used it against black kids and tried them as adults. I don't know if they tried him as an adult.
Right. Well, okay,
but
I got
18. I guess 18.
Well, the black kid is 18, right?
The black kid is 19.
Okay, either way, 18 or 19, that's an adult.
So he's an adult.
Okay, and I can guarantee you, the reason why I'm bringing that up, I can guarantee you that the black kid is going to be charged as an adult. This is the...
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and he should. I mean, I'm not saying innocent or guilty, but if you're over the age of 18, if you're black, I can guarantee you're going to get charged as an adult. You'll be no matter what color race you are. Now, let me take that being said, now black kids, they can be 17, 16, 15, they get exception to the rule. They'll be charged as an adult sometimes. Hey, I'm sure the other people can make that argument. Dylan Roof, the one that shot the people in the church, he was charged as an adult, right?
I think so.
Okay, I'm just saying there are exceptions, but
right.
most of the time, young black kids will get charged as an adult no matter what age. But so But go ahead. I didn't cut you off.
But you know the thing as far as when he, you know, had to charge, and then you were saying that he gonna probably charge they've already then found it. They gave him 35 years.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
so
that.
that was determined yesterday. You know,
Okay.
he got 35 years, and he could have went from 5 years to 99 years. And I said even before, I say I know he's gonna get a double digit, whether it was 10.
Yeah.
I was saying, but at 35 years, you know. But then again, they don't take into account that this kid saying that he felt threatened by it. But that's why I was saying to you earlier is that they can use that defense because they don't feel that we fear of anything. So the whites can use it, say, "Oh, I felt fear for my life." So that's how I reacted. You know, the guy stabbed him and he took off running. I'm not justifying it like say he's wrong. He needs to do some time for his action. But then again, you know, we go back and you probably go and run cases about that same scenario, and then I'm in the check, and I guess I would do that just for my own sanity, as far as like knowing in those same cases that you have a white kid that kills a black kid, and what they found the outcome be. A lot of them that they've been given probation. Matter of fact, a couple of years ago, I remember that they've been given probation. You know, so go back to that justice, adjust us. Go ahead.
You know, but you were going to say you were going to do your homework and you was going to go back and see the
Run the
status,
case,
you run the
stat.
numbers, so
Right.
to speak. Well, you can help yourself, but I almost tell you, wasting your time because it's going to be a discrepancy.
Right.
You know, I can almost assure you it's going to be that discrepancy. But do it, though. That's what we should be doing as black people. We should be verifying some things that we say that are easily verifiable today. I got this computer screen in front of me now ready to go. So my partner's got his because it's too easy today to look up facts.
Right.
You know, and I know you can, there's fake news out there too, but you can look up facts easy today to verify anything today. So yeah, that's a tragedy. I'm 30 years, 35. I mean, I'm sure that's a double standard. But you kill somebody, and and especially
He'll be 50,
yeah,
55 when he's
yeah.
eligible for parole if he don't get out early.
Wow. Hey, I don't know what to say. It's a tragedy all the way
It
around.
is. Ain't no winners.
Ain't no winners.
Yeah, ain't no winners.
Whenever somebody gets killed,
Right.
Out of a conflict such as that was so easily resolved. I guess the question would be, where were the adults? I guess you could ask. And I don't know.
They probably was down on the field. I'm saying they was up
Right.
in the.
And then
the
on
stand.
top of that, if the guy was claiming self-defense, it don't seem like he got a good. Sometimes it comes down to a good lawyer too. Now,
Right.
when did that happen? By the way,
I
was it this year or last year?
think it happened last year.
Last year, because another tactic that a good lawyer do, he'll delay that thing until he can't delay it no more. Because people they cool off. People do. You get what I'm saying? So that's a good lawyer. Obviously, we don't have access to that because we don't have the money. But yeah, I mean, I'm not justifying what the young man did. It's a tragedy.
Right, it is.
And what was this thing about the news? The young man, is that what his dad said? Or did I hear some fake news
Said
that
what?
his dad said he needs to be hung? The victim's dad.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Okay.
Yeah, it might become saying that community is real. Deion Sanders used to live there. It's that areas like Denton, Frisco. This is all in Collin County. So, and then another thing that they had an issue with is that there was no black jurors, right?
Oh, surprise, surprise.
No. But I'm saying I would have to say, being fair, is that you don't pick jurors based on race.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They're supposed to be random.
Okay.
Okay, no.
We got some work
No,
to do. Go ahead, though.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm listening.
Okay, when you pick that a jury, you supposed to be a random pick. You supposed to be a random pick. They supposed to go into the computer and they don't supposed to check out your race or nothing. Your race, age, or nothing. If you are, I think it's a voter. I think if you're a voter,
No, but that's not the. Oh, yeah, that's when you're called, because
Yeah,
I've been
that's-
called for jury
right,
duty.
right.
But what happens is they interview the lawyers. Quote interview prospective jurors. They're always striking black people off the road. Yeah, they question the lawyers for each side. For
Right.
each side. And
Right.
I never went through the process, but if somebody knows better than that, but it's not just what you're thinking about is call for jury duty. Now that's going to be a big room of people. Everybody's sitting around waiting around. They'll call a group, and now after they go back to that jury or that's what I'm saying. You can get this. That's where the interviewing goes on at.
So you saying is that I know just seeing it before is that one of the cases that the defense and the prosecutor can request, even though like as the defense say, okay, I want this guy to be on the jury, the prosecutor can
strike him.
Okay.
They call
I
that
think that's so many
Yeah.
that you can actually strike out. But then again, what I was getting at is that they say you get judged by a jury of your peers.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that many blacks stay in
Right.
in that county?
That's always been a fallacy.
Right. Because you remember the same thing happened with the
O.J. Simpson.
not O.J. Simpson, the Rodney King. You remember
Rodney
they moved to change the venue?
That's right.
They moved to change the venue, and
Yeah.
then they
Right. That's when you have a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. And you know, that was the defendant's lawyers who got.
But they
that
should
defendant.
ask for.
Yeah, they
should
cops,
ask for a change of venue.
The cops wanted a change of venue. They wanted to get the Rodney King thing.
Oh,
They
Rodney
wanted
King,
to
okay,
get
right.
going back to the Rodney King.
Right.
They wanted to get out of that. What you
Yeah,
talking
that
about with
area,
the
'cause
black
they know-
ones,
yeah,
and they were successful.
Right.
The
They
lawyers were successful, but then, like I said, it goes back to the judge too. Now, that judge doesn't have to do that.
He had
So
to
that's what
accept.
I'm saying. It's all about just for us. We never get this, justice thing. But we're going to take this quick break. The topic's going to continue. We're going to go to the topic board. I'm going to show you something on the topic board that
And
goes.
then like just one more note on
go
this
ahead.
subject. No, go ahead. We'll touch
okay.
on the other side.
We're going to take a quick break.
All right.
Right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I was just checking out that break time commercial. That's a protest, that No Kings protest, for anybody that's interested to see what that was. It was a great protest. Me and EB went to it. But we're going to go to this subject board that always... Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
It's just one last little note that I wanted to put on that just us. There was another trial that was in South Carolina where this store owner shot this kid that he said that had stole water. I think the kid was 14 years old, and he shot him in the back. They chased him down, and they come to find out that the kid didn't steal no water, but then again, he was found not guilty.
Oh.
And he shot him in
the
the back.
person-
What I'm saying,
yeah.
but I'm saying is that those same cases is that, the law says that if the threat is going away,
Right.
you cannot pursue it.
Now, is that 1946 or 2026?
That's 2026.
Wow.
But it goes back to that same thing you're talking about. The just us is that if we chase down somebody and shoot them in the back, you know what I'm saying? You thrown away for life.
Yeah.
But then again, that's just another one of those examples
Yeah.
that I want to put out there about the just us. That this guy, they bombed this store, You know, but I'm saying, but you need to also see the stuff that's out online. I don't know if you've seen that, EP, about these Asians that coming on there talking about they don't want the black business because a lot of they're talking about boycotting the Asian stores in their communities.
Okay.
But they saying that they don't want their business. They say we got Chinatown, we got Korea, and it was very. I show it to you after. It's very vile. Some of the things they were saying about black people. But then again, we have to take responsibility as well.
Yes.
Because we go back there and buy their hair products. We go
right.
back there and buy their.
Right, and we don't open up our own stores.
Exactly.
But if we open up our own stores, sometimes we don't get the support from
crazy?
the community, and then sometimes the business owner is trying to pay his bills all in one sale. It's just, so we got problems all the way around. But bring that topic board up because it's going to go right into this. Because I'm just going to look at this topic board with everybody else, and I'm going to say, now, of course, just for us, we'll go into generational wealth. It will go into our mental health, which is down there on the right down below it. It goes into politics. It goes into tribalism because white judges they don't get the white criminals the same sentences and just the whole wealth. But the main thing I wanted to focus on is generational wealth. You can bring it back now, brother. This generational wealth and how this just for us reaches in our pockets. Because when a person gets this unequitable justice, the whole family has to pay for that indirectly. Let's just say that the person he was a single mother, a single father, and they got this improportional sentencing or justice. Who takes care of that child? Right? Who pays to be, and that mental health of that child? And then then the person that takes usually it's the grandmother back in my day that takes these children and raises them. What's that money coming from? I mean, the person's in jail. They can't contribute to. There's just a whole line, a ripple effect of this just for us system that we've been dealing with for 400 years. And we're not, as far as black people, we're not aware of how this has affected us, I don't think. And I think sometimes we just give up. This is just the way it is. We accept this double standard, which I think is a mistake, because when you accept a double standard where you confirm what the system is telling you that you are inferior. Like the Supreme, it was that guy in the Supreme Court in the 1800s said there's no law that the white man is duly obliged to respect as far as the black man. I know I chopped that all up, but it's the fact that the Supreme Court is going along with this double standard. In fact, they're perpetrating this double, even until this day. That's what they're talking about, this Voting Rights Act being chopped down by the six bigots, six racists. I call them racists. They graduated from being bigots to being racist because to me, you can be prejudiced. I had no, white people are prejudiced. So many white prejudiced people I make, it's ridiculous. And that's fine. I mean, they prejudgment. I can move on. I don't have nothing to do with me. I don't have to listen to them. Or I can. I have a conversation with them, which I usually do. But a racist, that's like a person a Trump has power over you, or your boss has power over you. His prejudice, when he acts and don't give you that promotion, or he demotes you, or like a headset just fires every woman and black person he sees in his sight, you know what I'm saying? That's a racist. He's graduated from being prejudiced. He's got a little power now. And so he's going to take that power and apply it to his philosophy. And now, when those black people, when that general and all those black lawyers get walked out, what about their family? What about their generational wealth that they were saving up for? What about that house that they were going to pay for and pass down to their kids? I mean, this is a system, and that's the high end. Well, we call ourselves black middle class. Right. These people, 7 figures, double. I mean, all day, every day. You know what I mean? So, I'm not saying they don't have financial problems, but I can't blame it on them not getting the money. They got it. But they kind of, but they still live under this double standard. Now they can, what happens is they kind of filter us in a way that, yeah, some it looks like we're doing all good. You see, like these generals and things, and these TV anchors and things, but that's not the makeup of the whole Black African American experience. I mean, and believe me, I've been blessed by God. I'm not saying I'm an individual. I'm talking about our generational as a whole, our wealth as a whole, as a people, and where we come from. Now, individually, yeah, some of us are doing good, some not too good. But I'm just saying that the data shows a lot of us on the mass are not doing good.
Right.
We've been robbed.
Right.
But go ahead. You want to feel something on that?
No, I say, and that's a good point, is that we are, and you always state, that we think that this really don't have anything to do with us, but it does.
You're talking about the situation in
I
America.
mean, like it's a statement that you always make is that even this broadcast,
Yeah.
and then the things that we talk about on it, that we always have to ask the question. So what does this mean to us as Black
Yes.
people? And then, like I say, a lot of us don't feel that it has anything to do with us. If it don't have anything to do with how we gonna put food on the table, it does. You figure out how that you're gonna make that next pay that next bill. It does, and all of it. And that was a very good example you said as far as like with the justice system is that it's a trickle down effect. Is that you take the dad away, then them kids have to go to their grandmother. And then, like say, the grandmother is on fixed income. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that we've been doing for years. As far as making it work.
Right.
But then again, like you say, a lot of people are affected when that it goes all the way down from the guy that's being charged to his family. Like you said, families are taking a generational wealth and putting a house up for him to be bonded out. And then they get scared and they run off, and now that you done forfeited the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And since you brought it up, before you move on about the medical thing, just a side note, with this medical discrepancy that we have, do you know that they could take your house if you don't? Let's say you were in the hospital for so long and
Right.
your insurance ran
Yeah, I
down.
heard that, yeah.
They're going to put a lien on your property.
Yeah, I heard
That's the
that.
new thing now. This is and people should be, Black people especially, should be aware of this. That's how they're taking people's homes now through this medical bills. These bills that you owed before when you passed, and the medical fees, because Medicaid or Medicare didn't cover it. And everybody signs that you're responsible for these payments. So since you brought that up about the fixed income and the house that the people lose, there's another way that they take people's houses.
I did hear about that.
In fact, in Illinois, I'm glad they did something with that bail system. They kind of eliminated the cash bail because it was just a cash cow, and it wasn't us getting the money. As I say, we've gone from picking the product, which is cotton, to being the product, which is the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
They're making money off of us one way or the other.
Yeah.
Now they bring the brown people in to fill in the void, because the Black people ain't doing that cotton picking no more. And they, it used to be domestic. There's nothing wrong with being the domestic worker. I mean, a job is a job, but Black people, there seems to be this boogeyman effect. They're not bringing Black people in to do those domestic jobs anymore. That's the brown people who come from who knows where and has whatever criminal background. Nobody knows. As long as they're brown and act nice, you can take care of my kids. Now, this used to be something the the Black women used to do, raise the white kids as an
occupation.
Yeah, as an occupation. Right. And so I'm just saying that the game has changed, and so. But did you have anything?
No, like I say, it's something is that we are, Black middle class, is that we are fading, and that's the thing that they are working their darnest to do, is to cut that out. Because it's either up here are down here. That middle, as they say, because at one time it was a good thing for white families to be in the middle class. But then again, then all of a sudden we started raising up to the middle class, and now all of a sudden it's something different. Like you say, justice or just us. The same rules that we've been playing by when it was working for y'all.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden
they changed the rules. The game has changed. Isn't that something?
That is.
Once we didn't, and by the way, it only took 50 years, 60 years at the most,
right,
for us to start competing. Can you imagine how limited we were up till 1965?
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And we blew it out the water in less than, in my lifetime, 60 years, which speaks to that inferiority thing that they were putting upon us that really still trying to do. So we're going to take this quick break. We're going to come back with entertainment news there. And so, all right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back with the entertainment on the last leg of the P-Funk here of Black Middle Class Talk. We're going to talk a little bit about entertainment, and you can see I'm smiling because brother, tell what's on the entertainment beat there?
Entertainment is Trump going to the New York Knicks game. Now, if you've seen these clips that's going around, he's sitting at the game, he eating his French fries, eating his pizza, talking with his mouth full, and he went to sleep during the game. Him and the owner. They were sitting right next to each other.
The owner got a nap in too?
Both of them got a nap in.
Wow, that was a good game too. They missed a lot.
It was. But the thing about it is that, what is it? Now, he was the first, but he loved first. He was the first sitting president to ever attend NBA. That was surprising to me.
Hold it, man. Trump is a history maker. Trump is a history maker. That's just a fact. I mean, now I ain't saying it's good history.
Right, exactly.
But it's history.
It's for him.
I mean, this is what we're seeing today is just off the charts corruption.
Yep.
I mean, people don't even know it's corruption. They think it's normal.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It
is becoming normalized.
And that's why I say this is an OJT on how your government works in case you missed it in high school. Because with this 3/4, more than 3/4, 7/8 of whatever is corruption in this administration. I'm trying to think of something that he's done legal.
Right.
Like maybe a few executive orders, but for the most part, when in doubt and you're talking about the president's doing this and the president's going to do that, he can do this and he can do that, chances are you're lying to yourself. This is all illegal. But go back to that game. Go ahead.
I think a lot of people like to say, even the people that's pro-Trump, they saying that it wasn't a good move for him, and the reason why they saying
to go to the game
is that if they lose, they gonna say that your being there is the reason for which we both.
It was.
Even you saying it.
Yeah, it was his fault. We can't say everything he touches dies. Right. He went to the New York Stadium.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he went there and he messed the game up for him. But go ahead about the other facts you know about that.
But the thing about it is that it killed because New York have been having a watch party outside Madison Square Garden, because of the fact that Trump was there, people had to come to the game 2 hours early just to get through security. And then all the restaurants that would have been making money all down through there, they was all blocked off because of the security for Trump.
Thank you, Trump.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So and then the city had to put out money because they had to provide security for the president being there. So everything about his being there, he like you said earlier, he is a history maker, and like you said, and then they heard him. They let him talk at the end of the day when he had gotten back from New York to Washington. Mm-hmm. He said, "Yeah," and they asked him about it.
About what?
About the booing.
Okay,
he said no. He said,
you ran past the booing. I want to hear about the booing.
He said, "Did you hear?" He said, "Oh yeah, it was very exciting. They was very enthusiastic. He said, you talking about when they had me up on the screen. He said, yeah, they was very loud. In other words, he's saying he actually made it that they was very loud because they were cheering for him. But then again, he's the master at taking the negative and making it a positive for him. He's a master at it. And like you just said,
you made that sound good.
But
he's a master at lying.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing about it is that the old saying is that you tell one lie, you got to tell another lie to cover that lie. So, he did a perfect example. Like say, everybody seen exactly what the outcome was. But then again, he came in and framed a whole different narrative. Because even though everybody, and he don't care.
Right.
That
he can say that all day long. But that's what I'm saying. He's so caught up into his own lies, he's believing his own doo-doo. And and so when he comes and gets off Air Force One and he says that when everybody just saw you get booed in the stadium, and even the look on his face when they were booing him, and you see how they tried to sneak it in, his picture during the national anthem. Yep. Oh boy, people were just waiting on that.
Because they saying that people wouldn't boo while the national anthem is being sung. That's what they thought. Yeah. But it backfired.
It backfired. Blew up. That's why I said if I had
people outside that was watching it, they booed.
And I was gonna say if I would have paid the extra money just to get in there to boo. I had the game. Yeah, I want to see the game, but that opportunity was coming. They were going to put him on that jumbotron at some point, and people knew that. I'm sure they were waiting. Now, if you've been standing outside for 2 hours, 3 hours, and you get in, and you know why, and everybody know why they're standing out there, and this guy doesn't care. He comes in there and doesn't even like basketball. He just liked it, I don't know, why was he there?
Well, they say that he used to, back in the day when they wasn't really about nothing, when he used to come to the next game. He used to be on court side.
Okay,
way back in the day. But then again, people say, but he's not a New Yorker no more. He's a Floridian. They saying, but yeah, he's from New York.
No, he's from New York. I can accept that. But by the way, he's what they call down south a carpetbagger, a Yankee. Am I wrong? In fact, I know how I'm from the South. I know Southern white people, and I know how they talk about Northerners. And in fact, I didn't know the word Yankee was as bad as it is until I got grown. And so the Southern white people, they're just conflicted all the way around. I mean, they worship this man as if like he's a god or something. And so that was very satisfying to see that the New Yorkers booed him out the house, so to speak. Even though he went to sleep for half the game, but I think that'll be ringing in his ear.
A wasted ticket, man.
But that ripple effect that you were talking about with the businesses and all.
Right.
I mean, that happens everywhere he goes. Right. I mean, he doesn't pay any bills. He's always robbing people. But he ruined the game for the New York Knicks. Ruined it for me, too, because like I say, you can't even watch a ball game without his pitcher. That's his strategy. He's got to be in front of everybody all the time.
He's always been disrupted, like the national championship game in football. He went to that. And he put him on the screen. He got the same response.
Which one was that?
The NCAA.
Okay, the college.
Yeah, college. Miami against Miami was playing Indiana. And
I don't understand why he does it. If he does it one more time, he's doing it on purpose. I don't know what he was thinking to go there. And by the way, they had him behind bulletproof glass. Remember that? And I remember when Obama would go, He'll be sitting down there on court side. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
but anyway, that's the what else was on entertainment that we got? Okay, the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, Sonny. And on top of it, by Trump being the game, the Spurs did win.
Yeah. Now, what's going to be the Knicks
Game four is tonight.
2-1.
They up 2-1.
Okay.
So Knicks
And
got another
Knicks-
chance.
Okay, to go up 3-1.
Go up 3-1.
Okay, and then San Antonio needs to tie this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good series.
Yeah,
By the way,
it is.
that
I really thought, after game 1 and 2, I actually thought that they was gonna sweep.
Okay.
Yeah,
they hadn't lost. That means a good bet.
I did, but like you say, now Trump got that juju about saying that
Yeah.
he broke their streak because they had a streak of 13 in a row.
Okay. Well, it won't be like the Philadelphia 76ers in, what was that, 83 or 84 when they
4-4-4.
Yeah, they just swept everybody.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't think the Knicks were that good,
Right.
to be honest.
I thought they were.
No, they don't have a Moses Malone under there just
Right.
dominating. If anything, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that's about it for the day. You have anything to add on? Or do we
No.
got young people want to give any input on what the series might be? Come on in, young people. Come on. What you got? On the line, we got young people. What's going to happen?
Personally, I think that the Knicks are going to win this in 6 games.
So 6 games. I mean, the last game will be in New York.
Okay. Well, no, the last game is going to be.
Last game will be
Yeah.
if he's saying that they're gonna
if
win in
it's
6, it's
6.
gonna be in New York.
Okay, good. That's
Because you
tradition.
got this game here, then you got game 5 in San Antonio, and then you're gonna have game 6 back in New York.
Okay.
Because San Antonio is the big team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Young people got it in 6.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I have no idea. This Trump jinx, they probably ain't gonna make a comeback. But it's gonna be interesting. That 7'4" Wemby is something to see.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, but New York to me they got the strategy. The coach has the excellent strategy. Box them out. Just keep them off the boards.
And that's why Oklahoma was having good success with him, because they put that weight on him.
Yes.
That big boy.
Yeah.
All you do is just lean on him.
And New York has 3 of them.
Yeah, and then another thing that I saw about New York, I think that San Antonio took New York out of their game early because they started being concerned with. Cause I'm gonna tell you, that was a bad call game to me. The refs, man, that
Why
was.
you say it was a bad call? What was the call you didn't like?
Well, take a pick. The
Well, you
one,
give me one.
the one when Yummy pushed Jaden
Yep.
head
Yeah,
almost to the
that's-
ground.
Yeah.
That was one. And then like when he was up under the goal when Town went there and what's his name came down and the hand came down on top of his head. And it wasn't no call. I'm just saying it was just
Who you rooting for, by the way?
I'm just for the because that kid Brunson, he's from this area.
Then that sounds like it.
One thing that is being said, and I know you've heard this before, is that the NBA want them series to go longer so that they can make more money.
Okay.
So you don't know if that's true or not.
No. In fact,
okay.
we just kind of went blank. Yeah, bring that back. Sorry about that, a little technical. But you say, but anyway, we at right up against the clock, right there on time.
That the NBA is extending this series.
Don't start that.
I'm just
Don't
telling you.
start
Well, I'm saying
that.
you've heard that before.
I know, no, you're right. I
Yeah,
just hate
yeah.
to hear that, but
Yeah.
you got a point.
I do too.
We'll next week on entertainment, we're gonna have to touch on that.
Right.
But for all those watching later, or watching here live at 1:30, we here every Wednesday 1:30 to 2:30 Central Standard Time. Feel free to join in. Just send us an email. Let us know that you're out there, and you can chime in. We can bring you in on Zoom or something. So as always, as the ancestors would tell you, always do the right thing. See you next time.
Peace.